Hey, Sammy.
Hey, how are you?
Doing all right. How about you?
I'm fine. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
I'm sorry. How you been? I'm sorry. I'm in my car. I had to go run errands and I didn't want to miss this. So I apologize if this is kind of weird.
Oh, no worries. Not at all.
Good, good.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks for your
thanks for having me
time.
on. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Yes.
Good, good.
So, yeah, I was just jamming to your latest single yesterday. It's a
Okay.
heartbreak song, but it's hard hitting. It's got that hard rock sound to it, which I dig.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep. A lot of our songs are about, I don't do the writing, Bubba does, but a lot of our songs are about that, like relationships, broken relationships, mended relationships. So this one's a little bit of a crusher, but it rocks. We feel like it kind of jams out. So we
Yeah,
we enjoyed recording it and playing it.
absolutely. And as a drummer, how do you typically approach the songs?
So basically, what happens is during our practice, I am not the songwriter. So Bubba, our lead singer, will come in with an idea, and then you've heard this 1,000 times from every band. You just kind of tinker with it. You start out with a good beat, and then and you just get the song down. You get the plateau of the song down, and then once you're done, you start adding your licks or where you're going to do fills and all that. So that's really our process. And we've been fortunate right now that it's been working for us. So we're just going to continue that path.
Very cool. I think you should, because so far
Thank you.
you guys got the right recipe.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. A lot of our songwriting is our sound, and a lot of our song is our influences. So there is sort of that feel of the 80s to it. And we really like that. So we plan, when we started this, we wanted to do it our way and have our sound. So hopefully the more people that like it and we get a lot of positive press, then we're going to continue this path.
Yeah, and speaking of the 80s, I saw you guys have some cool shows coming up with Quiet Riot and Slaughter.
We do. We just finished with Tesla, and now we're playing with Quiet Riot November 6th here in Virginia. And then we're going to go back to writing. We're finishing. We're going to be recording probably a full length album. I'm hoping by February we'll have it done. The material's there. We're in pre-production, and then we're up to Pittsburgh in March right now with Slaughter. Yep. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, yeah, I remember Slaughter. I still jam to Fly to the Angels. That's a classic.
That is a classic. It is. Up All Night. It's a great song as
Yeah,
well.
that's
So
a
they
fun
got some
one
real
too.
good
Yeah.
songs.
Oh,
So yeah, we're
that's
excited.
awesome. Have you guys played with them before, or will this be the first time?
This will be the first time with Slaughter. We've been fortunate enough. We've been on and off tours and shows with Tesla since 2017. Some of the other bands we played with are Winger, Dokken, Lita Ford. We've kind of hit that MTV 80s, gamut. Who else we played with? Kicks. I'm forgetting some bands, but yeah, a lot of those bands, you get the idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love the 80s.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Oh,
so do we.
that's a good era.
We'll play with anybody, but that seems to be the genre that so far has been good for us. So
Absolutely. And well, speaking of shows, what would you say is the most memorable rock concert you attended as a fan?
Van Halen,
Oh my gosh, yes. What do you
but
remember
not
from that show?
well. I'm a big David Lee Roth Van Halen fan. So the best show that I'd ever been to was Van Halen Halloween night in Hampton, Virginia, 1982 in the Diver Down show. That's probably the greatest concert I ever saw.
I can imagine. Oh man,
Yeah.
if only I had been alive back then.
Well, that's why YouTube's around. You can see some of those shows. There's some
True,
really good
yes.
shows. Yeah. How about yours?
Oh gosh, that's a hard one. I've been to quite a few good ones lately. One that sticks out is probably Def Leppard, and I
Oh,
think
okay.
Six opened up for them. Um,
Wow.
yeah, and they had another opener, but I'm forgetting who it was. But that was a fun show. And it was
You're a
at
big
the
Def Leppard.
outdoor
Oh, yeah.
venue, so it had a nice atmosphere.
Are you a big Def Leppard fan?
I would say so. They're one of my favorite. I love classic rock in general, so
Okay. I bet
um,
Styx was great to see as well. Oh, and speaking of Styx, just out of curiosity, I don't know why, because Tommy Shaw played with oh my God. Now I can't think of his name. But anyway, we played with Night Ranger. That was another
oh,
big show for us. Yeah.
oh,
That
that's
was another.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, I like those bands too. I mean, those are all great. They're all great bands. Musically, it's great music.
mm-hmm. Absolutely. Timeless.
Timeless. That's exactly right.
And it seems to be a cool movement happening right now called the new wave of classic rock movement, where there's a lot of young upcoming bands trying to bring back that authentic rock sound, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I think that sound really, I mean, it's hard. I just think that there's just something to good music. You know what I mean? And I think there's obviously good writing as well. I think has
Mhm.
a lot to do with it. But there was just so much of it. Now, I'm not. There's no disparaging words for any band today. I don't know most of them. I don't really listen to It's funny. I don't listen to a lot of music like I used to. Um, but man, when you throw on like an old Boston song or Sticks, like we were talking about, you're right. There's just something magical about it. It's just really good, just good music.
Yeah, I find like a lot of those albums I never get sick of. I can just put them on over and over again, and
Right.
you don't get tired of it. It
I
still
agree.
sounds fresh to you.
I agree. I'm in total agreement with that. Yeah. So we try to model a little bit after that, I mean, we just, we modeled ourselves a little bit after our influences, but my influence is Bobby Van Halen, a couple other guys influenced there, but a lot of things that have been written about us were like, like bands I love, like Aerosmith. It's just good, plain. I mean, there's not much to it, there's, because, in these days, people call us heavy metal. We don't call ourselves heavy metal. We call ourselves power rock.
Hmm.
So, because metal is, death metal, core metal, speed metal. I mean, it's too many genres. I don't know what happened to just a good old rock and roll band. So,
Exactly.
so that's what we call ourselves. We call ourselves a power hard rock band.
I like that. That's a good way to
Thank you.
describe yourself.
Thank you.
And how did you really get into drumming? Would you say there's one drummer that kind of inspired you to pick up and play the drums?
So I go back to Van Halen. Van Halen inspired me to get into music in general. So again, I'm a big David Lee Roth fan, and when I was really young and saw him, that made me want to get into music, and then I wanted to then I saw Alex Van Halen play, so I was like, that's what I want to be. That's the guy that I want to be. So yeah, I would say Alex Van Halen.
That's a good one. I
Yeah.
think he inspired a lot of people. Van Halen in general, as a band, they're influential to so many people.
They are, but you know what? I just don't think. And again, I say this to everybody because I'm a home job, but I don't think Alex Van Halen gets the due respect that he deserves. I really don't. I mean, you hear these, oh, well, your top 5 greatest rock drummers, and I just don't hear his name that much. And I disagree. He's easily top 5 rock drummer. I mean, there's so many different styles of drumming and types of drumming, but he's definitely up there obviously in my book. But I think he's a better drummer than a lot of people give him credit
Hmm.
for.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people name John Bonham or Neil Peart as the top drummers, but yeah, there's a
Right.
lot of other good ones out there.
Oh, there are great ones out there. Absolutely. So, but
Yeah.
no, he was my main influence.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So,
So,
yeah.
any plans to shoot another music video?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think eventually we will. The goal again is to record this album. We have enough material. We've been writing. That was one thing during the pandemic that we did do was continue to write. So that's really first on the agenda, and then probably what we'll do is pick the song that we will probably hope will be the next single. I haven't gotten that far yet, so I would like to do another real video, not another lyric video, but sometimes, you know, time doesn't allow that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that is on the list, yes. But again, number one on the list is to finish the album, and then number two is to book more shows.
Awesome. Well, hopefully, you guys will come out to the New England area.
Is that where you are? You up in New England?
I'm in Boston, yeah. So,
Boston, okay.
Yeah.
How far are you from Pittsburgh?
Oh gosh, probably about. Is Pittsburgh on the west side of Pennsylvania, or is that? I'm confusing Philadelphia, Pittsburgh.
Well, coming from Richmond, it's north. It's more north. So I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
I'm not a geography whiz. I know that.
I know Philadelphia is like 6 hours from Boston, so it's probably a little more than
4
that.
or 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's as far as we're coming right now. So.
Okay. Well, if I'm in Pennsylvania, I'll try to make it.
Yeah, it would be great. It'd be great to see you. Yeah, come on out and listen. But
or maybe the Slaughter show.
I'm sorry.
Or maybe the Slaughter show.
That's what I was saying. That's the one. Yeah, come to that show. That's the Pittsburgh show.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, that's all we got on the books right now. I mean, you know, we're working on more shows, but you know, I don't like to, you know, you don't want to say what you're working on unless contracts have been signed and you have it.
Yeah, until it's concrete.
So it's concrete. So
yeah,
that's really what's going on right now.
Awesome. Well, that's really exciting, and you know, I'm loving the music that you guys have been releasing so far. So
thank you. I appreciate it.
Looking forward to the album.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. We'll make sure we get you a copy, but it won't be till probably, like I said, February or March. But we'll definitely keep in the loop. And obviously with Chip's team, who I'm sure you spoke with, you stay in touch with them, and we'll get you whatever you need. I promise you that.
Oh, thank you.
You're
That's
welcome.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate your time, Sammy.
Well, I appreciate you take the time to help spread the word about the band. And if there's anything you ever need, please don't hesitate. And I hope to see you at a show, and we'll meet in person.
Absolutely. Well, enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Well, thank you. You do the same. Take care now.